to review. I would entertain a
I'll make a
motion to
motion.
approve.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second on the minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved. Item number 1 under old business, approval of a right-of-way use permit to install a new outdoor dining area at 1817 University Boulevard. It was tabled last week. Mike?
So good afternoon, members. What we'd like to do at this time is withdraw this request. May come back to you in the future, but the landowner's working out some issues. And at this point in time, we would just like to withdraw this.
Do I hear a motion to withdraw?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Item number 1 is withdrawn. New business. Item number 2, approval of a minor public works contract. Is it Eisler demolition for Bowers water tank demolition? The total is $58,600. Mr. Gurney?
Yes, sir. This project will consist of dismantling the Bowers water tank. Contractors will get started sometime late this year and finish in a couple days. The project is funded through water sewer RFFI capital account Bowers tank system modifications.
Questions?
I'm excited to see it go.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 2 is approved. Item number 3 is approval for award of a contract with Mark Johnson Construction for lift station 40 and 41 valve replacement project. The total, $347,660. Brian?
Yes, sir. This project will replace 18 valves on 9 each on each of those stations. Right now, the pumps cannot be pulled because the isolation valves don't work. The pump stations are on bypass pumping. So this project will replace those valves, allow us to isolate the pumps, pull the pumps, fix them, and put them back. We had a bid opening last Thursday. 4 bids came in. Mark Johnson was the low bidder. Project's funded through 2022 B bond.
Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 3 is approved. Item number 4, approval of a minor public works contract with Robinson and Sons Construction Services to install mixers inside the North River and Mercedes water tanks. The total is $59,500. Brian?
Yes, sir. So this will install mixers inside the North River and Mercedes water tanks. The mixers basically keep the water from becoming stagnant, help the disinfecting chemicals work better. This minor public works contract with Robinson Sons Construction, the funding is 2022 B bond.
Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 5 is an AMI update. Brian?
Yes, sir. So, got a couple of slides. Basically, to go over the status of our AMI project. Just kind of recapping what AMI is. AMI is basically we have a project converting all our meters to smart meters, which means basically they can, instead of somebody having to manually go out and read them, they will transmit that data through a communication infrastructure directly to us. So that helps with operational efficiency, customer service. We'll get, instead of 1 data point a month, we'll get continuous data points every hour. So that's the project. So we have 55,000 meters roughly in the system. The phase 1 project, let's see, let me back up. The implementation approach, the phase 1 project was done in-house. It was approximately 5,600 meters that were converted to AMI. For this phase 2 project, we're contracted to do 19,000 meters. We're 10,600 meters in, so we're roughly a little over halfway. We're focusing on the routes that had a portion already AMI so that we can get those routes fully AMI, reducing the amount of routes that we have to manually read. We're projecting to be through with this project in October this year. We've kind of settled it. They started in September. with their, just the conversion. There was some lead up for contracts and things, but we started in September, had a little bit of a slow ramp up, and now we've kind of settled in and changing out 500 a week. Again, that projects to finishing this phase 2, in October this year. Phase 3 is funded through 2024 B bond. We're working on that contract now. We expect it to be on the order of magnitude about 26,000 meters. And it should roll seamlessly, like the contractor won't demobilize, we'll execute the contract. Expect to bring that contract to you mid-August.
Will we be about halfway finished
We're halfway finished now.
now?
5,600?
At the end of
With
this?
this phase, so we'll be a little less than halfway finished at that point. With the
There's about
total system.
50,000-ish meters, right? Was it
55,000.
55,000.
So the math is there'll be a remainder of about 5,000, depending on how the numbers shake out, but about 5,000. At that point, we'll have most of the system smart metered, so we'll use our meter reading crews to make the remaining conversions. And that project, right now, I'm thinking it's 18 months, but like I said, we're working through those details, and we'll come back to you mid-August with that. This was a slide explaining all that. There's a picture of what a typical conversion looks like. On the left side of the screen is basically the transmitter. We're replacing all the meters in the system, 90% of them, to be compatible with this system. So the installer's doing a good job. This is the communications protocol. Basically, 2 weeks in advance of somebody's meter getting changed out, we'll send them a postcard. When the installer comes, they'll knock on the door, see if the customer answers, explain to them what they're doing. If the customer doesn't answer, they'll see if they'll look at the meter and see if water's being used, and if it is, they'll just skip it and come back later. If it's not, they'll go ahead with the install, and then they'll leave a door hanger to let them know what happened. So we do a progress meeting weekly, and like I said, we've done 10,600 in this phase, and there's a handful of complaints that come in. So I think the installer's really doing a good job.
Back up at one slide. I was just walking through a neighborhood the other day, and I noticed somebody was doing some work, and they pulled that out, and that was disconnected. I mean, is that
Not good.
not good? That's what I thought. I'll look and see. I'll look at it again.
Yeah.
Now, I figured I don't know, is there a company doing this?
Yeah. Yes, sir. It's Almacor's the name of the installer.
That wasn't who was out there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, if you give me the address, or
I'll get it.
you may catch up with you, we'll.
I may have it. I'll see. I'll check. If I do, I'll send it to you.
Yes, sir.
Ron, do you have a map that shows us the progress there?
I do. I don't have it in this. I do have a map, and I can email it out.
Sounds like we're making progress. Right?
I don't want to throw anybody on the bus, but we had the maps in the presentation.
I can't even tell
My
you.
boss. So we'll just pull them out.
Despite the meter, Mr.
Do it anyway.
Despite,
Somebody's got.
What?
I'm a map
I
guy.
know your map.
despite the meter that Mr. Fail was talking about, we're making progress, except for that one, right?
Well, they had some water problems.
I'm not even gonna agree that we're not making progress because of that.
Yeah, they had ongoing water problems, and I saw somebody working there, and then I noticed that looked to be disconnected.
Like I said, I guess the overall status is we've done, we're halfway through this phase. We should get finished in October and start the next phase after that. Another 18
Ron,
months
at
after
the
that.
end of this.
Right at the end.
At the end of it. That's a preface to a question. At the end of it.
Oh,
Ballpark, what will we have spent to upgrade these meters?
15 million.
15 million bucks?
Yeah.
And how many meter readers do we employ?
Close to
5 or
16.
50?
Close to 16
16.
is the number in my head. I think the
Is So are there water monitoring efficiencies, or is the efficiency perceived to be the labor savings and vehicle savings and not driving around, jumping off, pulling up a
The
meter,
latter,
looking at something, writing it
the
down?
latter,
The latter.
yeah. Those positions, from what I understand, are, they're pretty, they turn over frequently. So it'll be less positions required, less meter reading positions required. I think some of those positions will become, maintenance techs for this system. But I think through natural attrition, we'll probably arrive at a less number for that position.
Brian, when you come back this fall, will you update this again and give us a status of where we are as we move forward to phase 3,
Yes, sir.
please? And maybe bring some maps. For Councilman Busby, we can see what areas we've kind of covered.
Yes.
And will you check on that meter for Mr. Powell?
I will definitely bring some maps.
I'll have to tell him where it is first.
Kidding, all joking aside, we appreciate what you do. Any other questions for Mr. Gurney before we release
Thank
him?
Kearney.
Item number 6 is approval of an as-needed service contract with Fred Robertson Wrecker not to exceed $30,000. Selvin, welcome.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
Chairman. I won't be nearly as funny as Brian.
Oh, come on.
No one is. Except Chief Rice is.
This
Where he
is
is.
authorization for approval of an as-needed service contract with Fred Robertson's Wrecker Service. This will provide, again, as-needed wrecker service for our city vehicles and city equipment that sometimes we need towing around for one reason or another. This will execute a new contract for these services, so we have one of these that continues to go. This contract in itself is not to exceed $30,000, and it is covered in our operational budgets.
So that's not the rotation.
No,
We
sir.
have two separate wrecker contracts.
Correct.
Selling with 30,000 be a whole bunch of total?
It just depends on the type of equipment that we're
I got
moving.
you.
So if you're thinking of just kind of towing a particular vehicle or something, that sounds like a lot of money. If you're thinking of towing a track hoe
Yeah.
or the big
Large
excavators
truck.
that we got, then yeah,
It's a lot of money.
it takes something to move that piece of equipment around.
Okay. Motion.
Second.
Selvin, before I call for a vote, this weekend, when we had flooding issues in the district, and I know we had some around the city, I just want to thank you and your team for what y'all did, because you were there when I was there Friday night. You were there worried about it. Y'all were working on things because y'all were responding to the constituents and just the citizens of Tuscaloosa. And I don't think you get told thank you enough,
We always there.
because a lot of times all I ever hear is complaints. I hate to say that. But I do appreciate what y'all do, and not just this department, all of you, because we all hear about the negative, but we don't praise the positive. Thank you.
I
So what
appreciate
you
that,
did.
Counselor, and I will say that the city has a first-rate storm response team.
Great.
I can't take any credit for what those guys do. They're led by Mr. Andy Champion. Andy is a no-nonsense guy who takes pride in doing things that everybody else considers hard. So I definitely stand behind them and all that they do. They are the ones who are actually out there doing the heavy lifting.
And thank you, because there were some difficult situations they handled very well, in my opinion.
Thank you.
So
I'll
I
certainly
got,
let them know.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 6 is approved. Thank you. Item number 7 is authorization for the mayor to sign a utility agreement with AT&T for the University Boulevard East Improvement Project. Clint, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. So, yes, sir. This is we're seeking approval for the mayor to sign a utility agreement with AT&T for the University of Boulevard East Improvements Project. My next 3 items are different utility companies. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
We're asking the mayor to sign each of those utility agreements for each of those different companies. It's AT&T, Comcast, Alabama Power, Inspire Alabama.
Yeah.
This is needed to move forward with the grant application
I'll make a motion.
or
Is
grant.
the agreement, is it just pledge us to cooperate in in doing it, or are we paying, what's it cover?
In the past, we've done requested a letter of support from each of these utility companies. AlDOT has asked us to provide a utility agreement. All it is, it's just it's basically redoing the franchise agreement. We went through this utility agreement just to restate what our franchise agreement states with each of them. With this project, we're bringing most of everything underground, all these utility lines. And so when we bring these utility lines underground, we're improving that. And so those are the ones that we'll pay to get relocated underground. The one that is already underground that we're not paying is Spire. And so since they're already underground, we're not, they are covering that cost to move their utility lines to fit everything else underground.
Questions?
And I'm sorry, the remainder, are they paying us to go underground, or are we paying them to move them underground?
We are
Nobody
paying,
anybody.
we are paying to relocate their lines to go underground.
We are paying them to relocate their line?
Yes,
Or
sir.
we're spending money to move them?
We're spending money to move their utilities underground. Yes, sir.
Second.
That's part of the grant though, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's part of the grant though. All right, I got a motion, second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 7 is approved. Item number 8 is authorization for the mayor to sign a utility agreement with with Comcast for the University Boulevard East Improvement Project. Same thing though, right, Clint?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. My fault.
Same exact situation.
Same thing,
time
just
frame.
different utility companies. My
Same
fault.
back channel. So, questions?
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 9 is authorization for the mayor to sign a utility agreement with Alabama Power for the University Boulevard East Improvement Project. Questions for Clint?
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 9 is approved. Item number 10 is authorization for the mayor to sign a utility agreement with Spire, Alabama for the University Boulevard East Improvement Project. Questions?
Motion.
Motion?
Second.
And a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 10 is approved. Thank you, Clint. Item number 11 is approval of balancing change order number 1 with Amison and Associates for construction of Springbrook Park improvements, deductive total $30,654.31. Tim.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This will allow us to close out our contract with Amison and Associates and balance this budget out with a deductive change order of that amount.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Give it back.
Item number 11 is approved. Item number 12 is approval to enter into a professional services contract with Ward Scott Morris Architecture to provide architectural and engineering services for the Metro Animal Shelter re-roofing and canopy design project. The total is $12,330. Tim.
Yes, sir. So this is funded by the previously approved $150,000 for Metro Animal Shelter improvements, and will leave us a little over $137,000 to perform the work after the design is completed. And we have Jordan Morris here with us today of Ward Scott Morris, if there's any questions you have for him.
I know we got to bid that out, but based on what you know, we should be okay money-wise with what.
Yes, sir,
we've
I
got.
think so. I mean, just from our estimations, I mean, this should be close. We're gonna try to do, obviously, as much with those dollars as we can, but it will be heavily focused on, these dollars will be heavily focused on the roof.
Perfect. Questions?
I want to say something about and thank you for the whole council, because this has been, once again, a great cooperation with the county, city, and Norfolk, because, they had a terrible sewer problem at the shelter. I mean, the sewer was coming into the shelter, it was just horrible. And the county is doing that part. And then we did the crematorium, we did the roofing and all that. It just shows when governments work together, it's just a great thing. Norfolk has contributed as well, but so there was a lot of problems, and the sewer was unbelievable how horrible that was, but the county did that, we're doing this other. So,
Thank you. President Tyner?
A question, did we do anything different to the roof out there? Is it a different roof?
I need to go up here so it's on the record.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
he's
Okay.
So our proposed roof system for this would be what we call a flute fill overlay. So it has a current pre-engineered metal building roof on it that it's got exposed fasteners that have weathered and they're leaking. And the most economical system is to take a rubberized membrane system that has insulation that goes in the flutes and then covers that whole system. And so this is the most economical way to get that
Okay,
problem
cool. I was
solved.
just, are we expanding the roof line, replacing it, or changing it?
So we are looking at having an additional canopy outside for
Okay.
the crematorium. Yes, sir.
And that would be just a pre-engineered aluminum system that's separate from the building itself. So we're
Okay.
not gonna build on to the actual building structure.
Thanks.
Thank you, George.
Motion.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 12 is approved. Item number 13 is approval of a minor public works contract with Olympia sprinkler installation. The total is $8,010. Tim?
Yes, sir. So, committee may recall a few weeks ago, we brought the Annex 1 corridor improvements. As part of that work, we were removing fire hose cabinets on floors 2, 3, and 4 of this building and going back with 2.5-inch hose connections on floors 2, 3, and 4. This project is specifically with the sprinkler contractor, the same one that's going to be performing that work, and will add hose connections to the ground floor and first floor of this building. It will also add new 2.5-inch hose connections to the original City Hall building on all 3 floors. There was no infilling or wall patching and painting to be done, so to save some of that GC overhead, we wanted to do this contract directly with the sprinkler vendor.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there any other business to be brought before us today in this committee? Our next committee meeting is in 2 weeks on July 15th. Hearing no new business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Got moved second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.